and we were sitting in the car, you said, "So we'll be okay."
I've been crying too much on this damn podcast, bruh.
And I never knew you felt like that. But I heard you, and it made me sad.
Part of it hurt my feelings for Solene because see what y'all doing to me, bruh.
Bring it in to our third episode of Outside Voices Podcast.
Yes. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back.
Welcome back, y'all. I just want to say we are almost at 100,000 subscribers.
Clap up for that.
If you have not yet subscribed, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe so you don't miss any episodes.
Also, let's talk about our first video here on the Outside Voices Pod. Already at 1 million views.
1 million views. For a podcast channel, that is pretty good.
We promised of us being consistent, one a week. We doing our part, and clearly you guys are doing your part, and we appreciate you guys here on the pod today.
Thank you guys so much. Again, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Now, can we get into last video?
Let's get into the last video. Go ahead. You can start off by talking about it.
Okay, so last video was pretty interesting, as you guys know.
And you guys had some interesting things to say in the comments.
Yes, you did. First and foremost,
Hey, this nigga wanted to do it. It was his idea. It was his idea.
It was not my idea.
I ain't gonna lie to you.
It was an unanimous decision, okay?
We only got about 4 people here at the podcast. I lost. So
listen, one thing I will say, in all seriousness, regardless of who we have on the podcast and what we talk about, we are God protected, okay? It does not take away our faith in God. That's what I will say.
That's a fact.
Okay?
That's a fact.
And what we do here on the podcast is majority of the time for entertainment purposes only.
And it's cool too, obviously, like to hear people out, learn about other worlds that you don't already know about. So it is cool to just come and, to see what it's talking about. You know what I mean? So
hey, we listen and we don't judge.
We listen and we don't judge.
But you guys will always judge, so it is what it is.
So now moving in to episode 3 of the Outside Voices Pod, we have a very important guest.
Very special.
Very special guest.
Probably our most special guest we will ever have.
Oh, you're taking it there.
There's a reason why we're here.
There's a reason why we're here. So without further ado, our third episode of the pod has a special guest of McBroom. Come out here, Mom.
Bring it in, Mom. Bring it in, Mama McBroom.
Since I am the sponsor of this.
We didn't even get to the sponsor yet.
we haven't got there yet, Mom.
Sit down. Okay, you can give us what you have here.
You're the sponsor for today's episode?
Yes.
Thank you so much,
So bring
Mama.
us to our sponsor of today's Outside Voices podcast. Is a very beautiful company that is called
Good Quality Human.
Good Quality Human, and you gave us some hats.
Yes.
I'm gonna go with the pink.
Let me get that.
Those are not just any hats.
Why?
Those are handcrafted hats. There's about 200 worth of hours put on those hats.
Really?
In the stitching.
You lying?
No lying.
Hey, remember we
No
don't
lying.
we don't cap on Outside
So you
Voices
better not be
Pod.
capping.
No capping.
Let me see what this is talking about. I just got my hair cut, but for you, I'll put a hat on.
Yeah, me. I got botana oil under the silk, so I gotta wear it like this. But I got the botana oil.
What do you think?
Wow.
How does it look? How does it look?
Looks great.
Yeah, you like it?
Let me
Does
see.
it match me? Hits? I know you not talking over there.
No.
Look at you.
Can I say one thing?
Okay.
These hats actually look really, really good quality. I would say. You know what I'm saying? And
Would you thought anything less?
no, I'm just saying because some people they say, oh, my hat's got this. They freaking from Antarctica ice melted this type of thing. No, but this is actually really good quality.
No, they're actually good quality.
I can
No
really tell.
pun intended. And
Okay.
I'm assuming what do you have over here? I know
It's a
you brought
variety
us some.
pack.
Did you bring
Yes.
Outside Voices people some?
Yes, I did. I bought at least 5 hats to gift.
Ooh, to gift. Oh, so we're doing a giveaway.
A giveaway, and I'm the sponsor.
Oh,
Okay.
so our
Hey, bring it in.
Our first giveaway.
All right, so this is how we're going to do the giveaway. All right, in order to have a chance to win one of my mom's beautiful Good Quality Human hats, this is what you have to do. You have to follow Good Quality Human Instagram,
Oh, thank you.
okay? You also have to follow Outside Voices Podcast Instagram,
Yes.
okay?
Yes.
It's Outside Voices Pod, by the way. And you also have to subscribe to the YouTube channel, okay? And leave a positive comment below with your Instagram so we can pick the winners for the next video.
I love it.
So,
Yeah.
Wait, so how many winners do we have?
We have 5.
So 5 winners are going to be on
Yes.
under the comments of this video.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
And
So again,
they get a tote.
A tote.
Oh, you get a tote.
A tote?
Yes.
Is that the little bags?
Yeah, it's for shopping at Trader Joe's.
Excuse me?
Oh, you can use the bag for Trader Joe's shopping.
Oh,
Okay,
I thought
okay.
it was a good Quality Human X Trader Joe's collab.
Yeah, I don't even know why you brought up Trader
Put it
Joe's.
out there.
Just, we don't talk about the brands
Oh,
over
sorry.
here.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
unless we're getting paid, okay, baby?
Okay. So, can we just get right into this?
Okay.
You are our beautiful mother.
Yes.
And how old are you?
Let me think about it. I am 54.
Damn.
54.
Yes.
54 years young.
Black don't crack.
They do say that, and I'm seeing it right here in the flesh.
Okay.
You look good. You look beautiful.
Thank you.
For those of you who may not know,
Actually, no, I'm 55.
What the fuck?
I
Okay.
forgot.
okay, damn near 60. Okay.
What?
He halfway to 40. That's what's
Okay,
crazy.
I just turned 30. Stop playing with me.
Oh my God.
So, speaking of black don't crack,
Yes.
just so everybody knows, me and my brother do have the same mom. Just so
Why?
everybody knows.
What do you
And the
mean?
same dad.
You guys look similar.
Yes, we do, but
People don't.
he's
think so.
lighter than me.
He's always been like
People don't know that our mother is black. They don't even know that we're black.
They don't?
Some people don't. Some people think,
What do you think you
Yeah,
are?
wait, you are Egyptian?
yeah, they do. They
no,
really do.
no, Puerto Ricans. What they
Or
do
Puerto
say.
Rican.
Puerto Ricans. What they do say.
Puerto Rican in the house. Puerto Rico.
So what do they say about you?
They think I'm adopted sometimes.
Yeah.
People used to always think that your dad had you, and then I had him, and then we got together.
Oh, interesting. So
Yeah.
he's not, wouldn't be my real brother then.
That's what they think.
Oh,
That's
okay,
what I
got
think.
you.
They assume.
But we can confirm that we do have the same dad.
You do. Have the same
And
dad.
you are my mom.
Yes.
And you are his mom.
Yes.
Okay.
That's nice. That's nice. So speaking of mom and dads, let's get into how did you and Pops meet? How'd you end up with a white guy?
There was really no alternative. We lived in a place where there's all white people, right? So when we went to the school, we were only there was only 5 black people. Your Aunt Mo, me, and 3 others.
So you and your sister and a few others were only black people in the whole high school.
Whole high school.
And did you have any encounters with bullying because of that?
Are we free to speak?
Oh, that's what the Outside Voices Pod is known for.
Yes.
So please.
We have a lot of outside
So-
voices here.
There was bullying, but actually your mom and I were actually one of the most popular kids in school.
Your mom and I.
Oh, sorry. Your
Aunt.
aunt
Yeah.
Mo and
Yeah.
I
So
were the
then
most
people
popular.
gonna think you lying now.
No. So it was kind of funny, but we were talking about this to your grandmother, and she was saying, well, why were you popular? And I said, well, I was always nice to people. It didn't matter if you were popular or not. I would bring people along. So it was always cool. Your Aunt Mo, on the other hand, she could care less if you liked her. So people wanted to be her friend. And so I remember this instance when you're talking about bullying on the bus. We were taking the bus home, and this guy says, nigger want a watermelon.
Hard R.
Hard R.
Ooh.
Shit.
And your Aunt Mo said, asshole want some shit?
Damn.
Done. No one ever said anything after that.
She cooked them.
She
She cooked them.
shut it down.
Were people on the bus like, ooh?
Yeah, they're like, whoa. And
Wait,
so,
was Pops on this bus?
No, he didn't live near us.
Oh.
So it was one of those things like, yeah, there was bullying and we saw it, but it was nothing crazy, right? It's just something you dealt with. And I always looked at it as people, they just wanted to be us. Honestly, that's how I felt. I didn't feel less than, so it didn't bother us like that.
Okay, so then
So-
where does dad come in the picture?
Your dad's actually blacker than all of us here. You know what I'm saying?
Pops do got flavor.
I do say I always reference Vanilla Ice. He is the walking version of Vanilla Ice.
Yes.
You know, the Southern California version of Vanilla Ice.
So
a lot
what
of flavor.
year did you meet Pops in high school?
What year was it? 1990.
No, was
What
it
grade were
freshman
you in?
year? Was it June?
Oh, he was a sophomore. Actually, yeah, sophomore going to be a junior. I was a junior going to be a senior. I'm
So
a
you
year
were older
I'm a
than-
year older than your dad.
Oh.
Yes.
Interesting.
So very, very long time ago.
So,
Back.
with there being no black guys in the high school,
Yes.
it left you with no choice to like white men.
But you liked
Pretty
the
much.
blackest of them all, the blackest white guy that was there.
That's true. He had flavor, right?
Mm.
So
So that was attractive.
and he could dance,
Mm.
right?
He
Got
could-
rhythm.
What examples do you have of that? Like, how do you know? What was the first time you're like, oh, like he can move?
Oh, at the high school dances.
So he was
Oh, so-
known to be dancing.
Yeah, he was a good dancer.
What was he
Yeah.
doing at the dance?
Like he was
all
doing
the-
this one, huh? He was doing this one. He was doing that one, huh? Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was doing a little bit of that.
See?
Break dancing.
Break dancing.
Yeah, your dad was break dancing.
So he was center of attention.
Center of attention. Always got the attention. Yeah.
Mm.
He was popular. Yeah.
He was popular.
Interesting.
Okay, so let's fast forward a little bit to, how many years into your relationship, but then you were pregnant with him?
I met him in 1996. So you were born in
92.
Damn.
oh. So it was probably
You were in college, weren't you, when you were pregnant?
I
With
was
me?
23. Yeah.
You went to college?
Yeah, I went to college. I have a degree in accounting.
Yeah, me and
In
Mama got a
business.
degree. We
In
both got a
business.
degree.
That's crazy.
I'm on business.
Yeah, we
That's
on
crazy.
business.
Okay.
Marketing and communications over here. What you got a
You
degree
didn't
in?
use a slick of that shit.
Yeah.
What
What do you mean?
communications?
Communications marketing. I
Oh
do it every
my-
day.
Oh my god.
Yeah, speaking of this guy, barely
actually-
finished high school. Anyway,
I
Well, I
went-
was threatening him. He was going to work at McDonald's.
I went to Santa Monica
No,
Community
you
College.
did not.
I went for
You-
7 days.
You told me you were going.
I went for 7 days and then I quit because it wasn't for me. And a lot of people here can relate to that. You don't got to go to college. Look at me. I'm good. I'm doing great. And I didn't need it. That's all I'm saying.
That's true. I mean,
so
yeah.
speaking of Pops being a good dancer, is that how you guys basically fell in love with each other? Him dancing on you?
What the type of freak shit you on, man?
That's how it started.
Well,
Because it seems like you were attracted to his
Also-
dancing.
well, his dancing, he had this bright yellow bug,
Okay.
right? He had a nice car.
Oh, Pops was stunning on
Yeah,
him.
so he had flavor to him.
He was an athlete.
He was an athlete.
Yeah, he
Right.
was an athlete. He
He was
talks about
bow-legged,
Okay.
right? So all those things he had.
Wait, what the fuck? What was that? What do you mean? That added to the attractiveness?
It was all in the package. That's what I'm saying,
Okay.
right?
The
It was all
bow
in the package.
the bow-legged.
And so, yeah, so we decided to
Have a
take it
kid.
further into high school.
Were you married before being pregnant?
No, and y'all followed suit. See,
Oh, that's crazy.
Damn.
That's
but guess
crazy.
what? I didn't have a baby yet, though. We got married before you were born. And the song I walked down the aisle to was by Jodeci,
Jodeci.
Now You're Having My Baby.
And
It-
he picked that?
I don't know. I think we both did.
Okay.
So then people knew, because
Oh,
I
that you
didn't
were
look
pregnant.
pregnant.
Oh.
And then they knew. They were like, why is she picking that? Now she's having my baby. And I walked down to that song.
Okay.
Okay.
So then Austin, and then 4.5 years later,
Then you.
then me.
Yes. And when I had Austin,
Was it planned when you had me?
No.
Okay.
I was in college. And when I had you, I was supposed to be at a final
For school.
for school. I had to have your dad or my mom or somebody call the teacher and say I was delivering. And they extended my final to later.
Damn.
And
Okay.
were you actually delivering?
I was.
Oh, yeah.
So you had me your senior year of college?
No, it was junior year.
Similar. So I had L senior year of college. You had junior year.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
I
crazy.
wasn't in any education.
Yeah.
When I had soul, I was not being educated. But that's okay. I wish I could relate.
That's
Okay, so you had me 4.5 years later. You had Landon.
Yes.
Yes. We were trying very hard for Landon.
You were trying very hard for Landon? What does that mean?
You weren't getting pregnant?
I wasn't getting pregnant. We didn't want that span to be that far apart.
Oh.
Oh. Yeah,
Okay,
'cause
so
if
he
he-
was a lucky baby.
He was a lucky baby.
Like you got lucky having him?
Every baby's a lucky baby. The odds of having a baby, if you really look into it, it's a miracle.
Yeah.
To have children.
It is. Yeah, the age gap, for sure. I didn't like the age gap.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. Did you like it? You didn't care.
I really didn't care.
He was a bad brother until I was 18 years old. Until I was literally about to be 18, that's when he was like, oh, shit, I got a little brother.
As you guys can tell, my brother has PTSD, okay? From me beating his ass.
Yeah. You were always beating him up. He was always wanting to follow you around.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't like it.
And
But he wanted to beat me up.
Annoying
Who
as
wants to
hell.
beat someone up that they don't want to be around?
Well, he was trying to make you stay away.
You were annoying.
But you would not stop. You would just keep coming.
Yeah, I got. Let's see. I got a broken arm and I was in diapers with a broken arm because he broke my arm.
You will
as a
always,
kid.
you will always
Like so.
hold that.
And my daughter has a broken arm now at 4, but I had one at 1.5 or 2, huh?
You were,
You were
two.
not that
You were
little.
I was 2. I was in
You were two.
diapers.
You were 2.
How'd you get the broken arm, bro? What happened
When we were
to
kids,
you?
we were wrestling. He literally purposely put me in an angle where he can jump and break my arm.
No.
So he broke my arm. That's
You
one.
said I planned it. Come on, bro.
Yeah, he did. Because I was
You
was
were
2,
at the
I
wrong
was
place
2,
at the wrong
He was
time.
6, going on 7. Clearly, it was developed enough to do what he wanted to do. Second, I have permanent stitches, a scar in the back of my head. And I was probably like, how old was I at that time, you think?
You're like 5.
So only a couple years later, blood gushed out of my head because we were fighting.
Blood was gushing.
We're fighting.
That was
And I remember
scary.
this.
That
And he
was
came
scary.
like we were karate fighting, right? About to get in the shower. I was about, or he was. We're about to get in the shower in your room. We're in your room.
Yes.
Play fighting.
Yes.
Now they had them old ass dressers with them big like
That was not
castle type handles, like the big old like dunk on the door, like big ass whatever that material is, handles on the
Solid.
dresser. He does the fucking Karate Kid swoop of the legs, and I'm airborne. Boom! Smack my head on the dresser.
He was just unathletic.
Smack my head. I'm fucking 5. Smack my head on the dresser. My shit's leaking.
It was
He
leaking.
immediately went from laughing to he got scared because he saw that something might happen to me.
I grabbed a towel instantly and put it over like a Band-Aid.
How
And
did
he
you
was
know to do that?
I was smart. What do you mean, smart?
So
kid?
he
I
was
got a
holding
degree.
the towel to my head as it was bleeding.
Yep.
My dad shouting from upstairs, "What the fuck's going on up there? What happened?" And he's like, "He's fine. He's fine."
I was because I was scared. I thought it was over for you, my guy.
So they were downstairs, and I remember my dad's looking at it. He's like, he said some shit like, "Oh, we gotta go to the fucking doctor now. Fucking whole head's gonna come off."
Yeah, your
That
dad
shit
didn't like to
was
see you guys
scary.
hurt.
Yeah. And then that was the childhood basically. But going back to the age gap, if you have an age gap of 4 years or above, why it's not cool, especially for, I don't know how it is for girls because you didn't have girls, you had 2 boys. Okay, when Austin was going into college, I wasn't even in high school yet. I was going into high school. So I was going into high school, he was going into college. So obviously if he's 17 and he's hanging out with girls and friends and they're doing things that 17-year-olds do, you know, teenage things, bad things, okay, he doesn't want his little fucking 12-and-a-half-year-old brother hanging out with him. And that's facts. So that's valid.
Yeah, I
But
want you. I want
but
you to be
weren't a
protected.
snitch. He wasn't a snitch though.
No, I never.
He never told on you.
He didn't.
No.
No. And I have one thing. I have one thing that actually he doesn't even know that I know. And I'm gonna snitch right now
What
live on
the
the podcast.
fuck?
Okay,
No, you're
okay.
not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Something.
Hold on.
Something.
Hold on right now.
It's
We're gonna sweep it up because it's getting messy over here. Nah, brother, we're not doing that on the pod.
I'm gonna snitch on him right now.
No, you're not.
I'm listening.
It ain't that crazy. The stuff that's that crazy.
You know what this means, by the way?
What? Big delivery.
Oh,
Mick delivery.
do you not watch the podcast, mama?
Mick delivery.
McBroom.
No, yeah, McBroom. Okay, so
Okay.
this is what happened. So I'm gonna say something that's not that crazy because I don't want you to get in trouble. You know what I'm saying?
Get in trouble,
He has
bro.
things that can still get him in trouble
I'm
to
a
this day.
grown ass man.
So one day, me and my friend were spying on him and his friend, well, our cousin, Trey. Okay? So him and Trey were all the way in the back of the house, in the back of the gym, okay, with 2 girls. And you didn't know this. So think about this. Why would he be sitting in the back of all the way in the back? Okay?
He wasn't in the gym.
No, he's behind
the gym.
Behind
What gym? Can you explain to them
So
what
the gym,
is?
basically, it's like a guest house, okay? So if you have like a building in the back of your house, it was a building in the back of our house, okay? So Austin and our cousin with 2 girls are in the back of, only behind the house was a wall. So it's just they're sitting between the wall and the back of the house with 2 girls. You know what they're doing, mama?
What?
They were smoking weed.
What?
Yeah.
You were smoking weed back in the day?
I ain't never smoked weed in my life, mama. Come on.
Oh,
I've been an athlete my whole life, and
you're
I got
not on.
drug
You're
tested.
not on YouTube. You're not on that no more. You better
What you
not
mean? This
fucking
is
lie.
YouTube.
No.
We listen and we don't judge?
Well,
Yeah,
listen, we
mama,
don't
it
judge.
wasn't weed though. I promise.
What was you
What was
smoking
it?
on?
What was it?
We was just eating candy, mama.
No.
I swear.
And I remember it was me and Jory. Remember my friend Jory?
Jory?
We were looking. We were like,
No, it wasn't, bro.
he's smoking weed.
Mama, I ain't never smoked weed, mama.
He's
In my life.
smoking weed in the back.
He smoked. He do everything, mama.
Wow.
He was a kid, mind you. That's a kid doing that. As a kid, you raised.
Was he
doing
coughing like that was the first time?
I think he was.
I
like-
will say there was probably some honeys there, but definitely no weed. We didn't need weed to get honeys. Like, that's the one thing. So that's how I know he's capping.
No, I'm not capping.
You feel me, mama?
Okay. Anyways,
So on the next topic.
Actually, Landon doesn't lie.
say it again.
Landon doesn't lie.
What makes you say that? So
Because
he He doesn't lie. I lie.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yes.
See, tell him, Mom. So what? Elaborate on that.
All right, so no, let's
No.
get, it goes into our next question, which is
Okay.
what was it like raising me and my little brother?
It was actually a lot of fun. We were always busy traveling because you were in sports since you were 4.
Mm-hmm.
Your dad put you in right away, lied to everybody what age you were. You were in sports. So we were always doing sports. And, of course, Landon came along to play with the girls.
Mm-hmm.
To
Play
be
with
running
the
around. Everybody knew Landon because I was always yelling his name, Landon, Landon. He was talking to everybody. He was like a social butterfly. He was climbing on things, doing things. You were playing sports. But you always had time to watch him, though. That was a funny thing. You'd be like, do you see him in the tree? Can you go get him?
It's always concerned for my little brother. He's always a little different.
That is true. So I always had a good time. I mean, we were busy. We traveled. We went to sporting events. Our whole life was sports. And he followed suit doing sports. So we were sports families. Travel ball. Yeah, that's what we did. Literally, when it was over, it was kind of like when you went to high school because you couldn't do travel ball in high school while you're in high school. Then we were doing it with Landon. But after you guys stopped doing that and you were doing high school stuff, it was like, what do you do with your time? Because our whole time was that. And that's how we met other families. We did stuff. It was fun.
That's how you met a bunch of friends that you still have.
Yeah, a bunch of friends with their kids.
So what was that like being a sports mom? Like, is it like, because a lot of people say sometimes you're too hard on your kids, super competitive. Like, were you a mom that was just like, whatever happens, happens? Or were you like pretty competitive mom?
We and your dad are good balanced. Your dad was very hard. I was one of those ones who like, it's okay. It's all good, right? Like, I was the one who was more or less like, as long as you tried your best,
Yeah.
I was good with it.
Yeah.
But also, I agree with your dad when, say, for instance, if you weren't performing right, we were that family like, pull him.
Yeah.
Pull him. He's not doing what he needs to do. Don't just keep him in because he's usually always good. Pull his ass out, right? Like,
Yeah.
we were that way. We weren't one of the ones like just always play our kid. But I was also the one who was like, that made me mad if they let the other kids play and like you bring up all the points, let the other kids come in and bring all the points down, then put you back in like you're a workhorse.
Yeah.
Like, don't do that, right?
Yeah.
And then it was like your dad was always like, he was nervous. So he was scared that you weren't going to win or you weren't doing your best. So he acted out in his way. And then I'm over here acting out in my way of trying to be loving and caring. But then I was always hiding in the bathroom praying because if you had to take the final shot or you were in the end, I was just like, oh, just let them win. And so I could never visually watch the end.
Yeah.
I would always be away because that's what made me anxious.
Yeah.
So we were a good balance.
I was laughing the whole time we were talking because I got vivid memories of the way that our dad acts when we were a kid. The way he acted is he's literally a character in a movie. A perfect example, I remember vividly. He wasn't having a good game, okay? And it was like somewhere we went down below to watch him play. We took him to the game, and he was just playing like ass or whatever it was. My dad's the type to be like, take your jersey off, halftime, we're going home. You don't want to play? We ain't playing no more. You want to go pick up the game? You want to go outside, play with girls? Go do that. Go run the streets. Whatever. You ain't playing basketball no. You obviously don't play no more. I don't know what the fuck you're gonna do with your life. I don't know what you're gonna do. You don't even like basketball? You don't even like that shit, huh? I messed up I'm a bad dad. That's what he would say the way home.
Yeah, he would literally leave at halftime to go home and not finish watching the game because I was having a bad game.
That's why we always drove separate.
But what I will say, what that would do to me mentally would have me play so damn hard. It would like a switch. Like as soon as I saw him angry, I'd be like, all right, bet. Now I'm having 30 points. Mm-hmm. And like it would like change my whole demeanor. And I would always end up having like a better game after he left or had an attitude. So it ended up working out. But I will say he was a strict pops when it came to sports. He was playing no games. But I feel like it translated into my life now. Like my mom, I feel like me and my brother got my mom's work ethic, like hard work ethic, and determination. And my pops, like his attitude, like being relentless and like always like knowing that it's always going to work out one way or another. So it was like a perfect combination of like both of them. You know what I mean?
No, they did.
But it was crazy because he would leave, and then he'd be like trying to call me or whatever, and I wouldn't pick up the phone because I was like, just leave him alone, like, right? And then when I went home, you should have stayed. You should have saw the second half, right? Picked it up. He picked it up. But and when I look back now, it used to make me so mad at your dad. It's like, why do you do that, right? Why are you so angry? But I realized because he wanted it so bad for you guys. Mm-hmm. He wanted it so bad, right? And so he couldn't stand it when he knew what your capabilities were, that you weren't performing like that. And especially when scouts were there, right?
Yeah.
When he felt like, shit, like they don't see him, right? I know what they can do. They don't see him.
Yeah, and I think he knew what we were able to like handle at the same time. Because like you said, I started sports when I was
4.
Walking.
Yeah.
And you know, he knew as I was getting older what I could and couldn't handle. Mm-hmm. And he knew what it would do to me. It would trigger me into becoming a better player. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And look at me now, man. Look at me now. Look at you now, man. Look at your life.
What the fuck?
But also,
long story short, niggas didn't do shit with sports.
Who?
Nobody did.
Who? What is he talking about?
The whole
what
time.
The hell? Hold up, time out. No, time out. We gonna talk about it. Let's talk about it. I was a 3-sport athlete, mama.
True.
Okay, not to toot my own horn, but I played 3 sports in high school. Look at him. He about to go to sleep over there. Because his ass was a damn skateboarder. His was a skateboarder, snowboarder, and rollerblader. Look at everything on wheels was this man. Okay?
But the funny thing is, no.
Hold up. I was a 3-sport athlete.
True.
Had scholarships in every sport.
True. Chose
to stick to basketball because that was my love and passion.
Shouldn't have done that.
And played at 3 different colleges with a scholarship.
True.
And worked out for a bunch of NBA teams and had looks overseas to play professionally.
Hey.
And I chose to do the social media shit, okay? So.
Beg to differ. But, hey, we're all here on the couch together at the end of the day. So that's what matters. We're here and we're successful and he's healthy. He's a great dad. He's a great human being.
Yes.
And we're here together. That's a fact.
All right.
So now.
But you know what's funny about you when you play sports?
What?
You weren't committed like your brother to practicing, but you were actually always one of the better players on the team.
He was always he was always the one that was on time to practice and shit.
But he was naturally he was naturally just good. That's because your dad.
The coach's pet. You know the coach's pet. How the ones that be on time, leave late, help him with the.
That's not your brother.
With the equipment.
You're trying to be funny. That ain't me, bro.
No,
I wasn't doing shit.
No, this is your brother though. Perfect example. You, if you had a bad game, you don't want no one to talk to you. You don't want to eat. You don't want to do nothing.
Yep.
You just leave him alone, right? Just attitude.
Yep.
Your brother, who's coming to my house?
He didn't give a damn.
Right? He would be out in the field, miss a ball. He'd be like this, point to the sun, like there's a hole in this thing.
He always had excuses.
So mad. He'd be like, ain't no, oh.
He always had excuses and shit.
Atlanta just let it shoop. And they'd be like, are we going home? Can they all come? They all my friends.
He just didn't give a damn, huh?
Okay, so now that was cute. No. That was very cute. No, I think that we need to get into something a little bit more serious.
Like what?
And this isn't on our things that we wanted to talk about today on this pod, but I'm just giving it out of thin air. We're going to talk about your divorce with our dad.
Yeah.
Hey, if you don't want to talk about it, see that basketball court way over there? You can always shoot a shot.
No. Past that. We're good.
Okay, so I want to start off with the first memory that I have of when it was a real problem in our world. Okay, and then he was also there. So I don't know if he remembers the way I did or if I remembering incorrectly. So you can change it. You guys can change it, right? But I want to say how I saw it as a little kid.
Okay.
So
how old were you?
Little.
I was.
What age?
No, I was little. Like I must have been. It was before that. Before the house with the backyard.
That's so sad how many houses we used to have. Like you was like the house with the.
Wait, so this is before college?
The house. It was. I know what houses it was. For a fact, I know what house. You guys can't switch that. It was the house beside, by Dylan and Danny, with that one that had like the pool, the little baseball thing in the back.
God damn, your memory is good. So this is
basketball
before I went to college.
Way before.
Bro, you were like 8 years old.
Well, this is.
Oh dang.
So wait.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
See, he blacked it out. He must got trauma too.
I'm confused though. They got divorced when I was in college.
I know.
No.
So what are you talking
Going
about?
off the first
The
thing
first
that happened.
argument?
Yes.
Oh my God, you're scarred.
It's not an argument. This is what we're understanding.
What?
This lady here, and our father brought us into their bedroom.
Oh.
And we were children. I literally must have been 4 or 5.
You
4 years
remember
old.
this?
You must be like 8.5 or something.
What?
They dragged us in here. She was already crying, and Dad was not. She's sitting on the bed. He's standing up, and she says, or he's like, perfect dad shit. He says, we're like, what? And we had friends over that day. Yes, we did.
What?
Yes, we did. G-O-D. We had friends over.
Bro, your memory is
It's
immaculate.
crazy. Well, when you go through trauma, you remember it. So we went into the room. You're sitting on the bed. Dad's like this, like, tell him. Literally, you know that's some shit he would say.
Yeah.
Go ahead, tell him. Go ahead. You want to say it? Tell him. Then you said, me and your dad are getting a divorce. And we were kids. And I remember we're like, what the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? But obviously it's some bad shit because you're crying and he's mad. But you said we're getting a divorce. And I don't know how long the conversation was, but I remember you just telling us that, and then you like kind of sent us on our way. And
just like that, go back and play.
we had friends over. G-O-D. Either he did or I did, but we had some friends over. I remember
So how did that make you feel?
I mean, I don't know how I felt at the time as a kid.
Clearly he was sad.
No,
Clearly.
I don't think that we even knew, because from that, why it's crazy though is because you had that serious talk where you must have been talking about whatever enough to bring your 2 small children into the room and tell them right there you're getting a divorce, and then literally the next day it was like
Nothing
you never
happened?
said that, because nothing happened in terms of like moving out. You guys are still in the household, all that type of stuff, and it kind of just continued. Okay, now again from my memory. Basically, you guys were playing house all the way up until Austin went to college, okay? And now, you could tell me, do you have any memory, Austin McBroom? Do you have any memory of mom and dad like, oh, I love you so much, mwah. Like, do you have any memory of that? No, real shit. Do you have any memory of like?
Yeah, there's moments, I feel like. There's moments, yeah, but it wasn't often. But there's moments where they shared, love and affection.
Okay, well, the shit stopped when I was born. Well, not when I was old enough to know what was going on. I don't have any memory of anything affectionate.
Okay, so where are you going with this?
So my question to you is,
wow.
And again, this is Outside Voices podcast, so we get right to it. And don't not say anything that you want to say. You need to say exactly how it is.
Okay.
What happened?
Well, first of all, I'm sorry you experienced that.
Me too.
Your dad and I were very young when we got together. So a lot of times when you're young, you're still growing up, you're changing. And then that's regardless. If you're young, old, wherever, you're never the same. You're all constantly evolving. So during that time, when I look back, those are things that I've forgotten. Like, I don't remember that happening, honestly. But we were not mature. We did the best that we could with the tools that we had, right? And so we had good times and we had bad times. And probably during that time when that happened, we were probably fighting about a situation of something, and your dad was trying to make a point, right? And so it's something we shouldn't have done, but it's a thought that we had. And it wasn't something that we had said was final, obviously, because we kept moving forward like nothing.
Off of emotions.
Yeah, which
right.
I feel like every person could relate to, like having a bad like talk or breakup that's like not really a breakup, or no, they're just saying that, like I'll see them tomorrow type of situation.
But we had thoughts before we got divorced of doing that, but nothing serious, right? Nothing permanent.
Yeah.
Right? You have situations that come up that make you feel like this is it, and then it's not it, because you realize you want to keep your family together. You want to try to make that work. But the reality is we weren't working on the problem. We were always putting a Band-Aid on the problem. And then we were so busy with you guys. And I feel like for people who have kids, the lesson that I learned is that your kids can't come first. Your relationship with your partner has to come first.
Amen.
Say that one more time for the people.
Amen.
For the people watching this.
That your kids cannot come first. Your relationship with your partner is the most important thing that you can do, because if you nurture that and you show a loving relationship to your kids, they will prosper, right? They will flourish. But if you pour everything into your kids, you have nothing left for each other. And that leaves you empty, and it leaves you angry, and it makes you say things and do things that aren't conducive to a loving relationship.
That's real wisdom right there.
So
fast forward.
When was it like an actual divorce?
When I went to college.
When you went to college.
Yeah.
But was it a divorce then, or was it just a moving out situation?
No, so I don't know if you remember this, but like I said, we had ups and downs, this and that.
Just so you know, he remembers everything because it really did scar him. I remember when I went to college and when I came back home and you guys were officially separated and Pops was living in a different house, you were living in a different house, and he would always say, bro, you were never there. You didn't have to deal with it. You were never there. I was actually there. I experienced everything.
I mean, I'm not laughing because it's funny. It makes me sad. I mean, it honestly makes me sad because I don't want to cry about it.
It's okay, Mama. You can shed a tear. It's okay. We're here for you.
When you were going through that with Soul, when you were having a difficult time, and we were sitting in the car, you said, Soul will be okay. Because when you guys got divorced, I was okay. Even though I felt like you waited until Austin left, but you didn't wait for me. And I never knew you felt like that. But I heard you, and it made me sad. Because that wasn't the case. We weren't waiting. It's kind of like we were waiting for him to go because there were so many things he wanted to do. So it was like almost like completing this project that we had. But it was never to leave you behind. That was never the intention, but I never knew you felt like that. And it made me sad when you told me, but I appreciated you sharing that with me, that that's how you felt. In ways, and you took that feeling and you turned it into, I'm going to be stronger because of this, not in, I'm going to dislike my parents because of this. Does that make sense? Like you used it for power for yourself and for thinking of Soul, and then, but it did affect you. And that made me sad. But we never just said, we're waiting for Austin to go to college and we don't care about Landon. That was never in our thought process at all.
So just so I can elaborate so people understand, what had happened was, again, don't do that, bro.
What?
Don't do that, bro. I made it a goal to not fucking do that right on here. So to elaborate on that, basically from that time period of how it basically really went is that they had this thing where they told me and Austin that they were getting divorced, right? Didn't know what the fuck that was. And then it kind of just went back to them playing house, right? And then I feel like they just did a good job at like simulating what a family is supposed to be like, for us to be put in the best position possible, especially Austin, because he was so heavy in sports and like that. And that was like a big deal for our family, obviously, to, you know, get him to the next level and all these things. And like, you need to have the support of your family living together. But the whole time in reality, she wasn't living the way she wanted to live, and my dad wasn't living the way that he wanted to live, in the benefit of me and Austin. So, Years go by, the same thing of them just basically playing house, but they weren't really in a relationship, basically. Playing house this whole time from when we were 8 and 4, and they initially told us all the way up until he went to college. So when he went to college, again, he's a senior in high school, I'm in 8th grade. He was going into college, I was going into my freshman year of high school. That's when they finally actually split out of the homes. So my dad moved out, and then she stayed in the house that we were living in before. And by that time, that was a huge thing for us, he was already gone. So I think at the time I obviously felt some type of way because he didn't have to deal with it. And also, we should add that those 4 years before he left, when he was in high school, those 4 years, it was getting progressively worse. Like the fights, the yelling, the like started to physically, or not visibly see my mom not happy because she would be hiding it all the time, but she started to show that she wasn't like doing well. And same thing with my dad, like just being more lashing out and stuff. Also, another story, him going in high school, he was never really home because he went to high school down below, and he had to kind of like stay with the family there so that he could go to a school that wasn't where we live, so that he can, again, have a good opportunity to play basketball at the next level at a good team and blah, blah, blah. So again, even in high school, he wasn't really dealing with it because he was only home on the weekends.
So you were stranded.
I was stranded, and obviously it was all okay, and I could handle it until they moved out, because when they moved out, I ain't never experienced that before. And I just remember that it was a tough time because it was just like a weird emptiness going on. And I was never used to like not seeing my dad for a span of time. My mom.
But do you remember this though? Your dad would come and lay with you at night and put you to bed.
No,
and that was like most nights. He would come and lay with you.
No, I don't remember that.
Yeah, he would come to the house, and he would just lay with you in the bed, and then he would leave.
I mean,
So you remember all the bad shit, just not the good shit.
Well, they say that when you close your eyes and you think of memories, you think of all the bad things first.
So you don't remember Pops being there for you?
No, I don't, but I believe that because the end of this story that is so sad right now, it has a really good ending, and it's because my parents are both great people and parents individually, regardless of how bad and toxic it was together.
That word toxic.
Individually, they were great parents, and I think that obviously again sticks with both of us in terms of parenting. And again, the split again was bad, and I did feel some type of way about it because I felt like, how the fuck? Stop, bro! Don't do that.
Nah, bro, because like I know it was a lot for you. Like we don't really talk about it, but
because it's all
I know
good,
it's a big
obviously.
thing for you. Clearly, it's not.
It's all
Just
good, obviously.
It out,
I'm just saying that that
give me a kiss, man.
So,
give me a kiss.
I'm saying that obviously it was just a tough time.
Get it out, bro. Get it out. Get it out.
Well, it was different than what you knew before because we were always together, all of us, right? Mm-hmm. It was big changes, and so we were so caught in our own bubble, me and mine, your dad and his, doing whatever he was doing on his side, me on my side. We still thought about you, right? We still worried about you, but I think we compensated a lot of things as you were going through high school with things, material things, clothes, cars, right? How many people get a brand new, what was your first car? Camaro. Right? Anything you asked for, you got. Right? True. And you use that power for yourself. Like, I need to get this, and I need to have this. And so we were always overcompensating with that, like trying to be like, well, at least let's give him this. Let's, anything you want. You used to want to be at your dad's, I felt, more than with me because you had more leniency over there. Is that true or no?
I think it's because the house was fucking boring, and when I first went over to my dad's, that's when I first met like his wife and the boys, so I had like friends.
Oh.
And it was easier to like
not be alone.
And my stepbrothers now, like they're going through the same shit, meeting somebody. It's a weird thing. So it was kind of being in the other house. It's like there's no one to even talk to.
Except me. Well, and I was always busy working and
you were always working. And like I said, the last like years before that actually happened, it was, again, this story has a great ending, so just wait for the ending. But it just was bad at that time because I had memories of like the literal typical movie parents fighting with a kid, like what you think of in a movie where it's like, look, you're making him cry. Look at him. Look, you're making him cry. That's what you want to do? Come over here. Look at he's really crying because of you. Look how he's looking.
Oh my gosh,
But you get what I'm saying? How it's like,
Yes.
and then I'm,
guys.
Well, I'm not laughing because it's funny. 'Cause
I'm
that's not
so
funny.
glad that like he's getting this out because this is part of like his healing, and like we never talked about this ever on social media. This is why I'm so glad we have a podcast now, because things are coming out and we get to express ourselves and share things that no one knows. So I'm
Yeah.
really happy for you that this is all coming out, brother.
so
But-
then
So then,
you're going to talk about what, my note?
do you remember the note?
Wait, you wrote a note? See, mind you guys, I'm out the picture because I'm off in Michigan.
So he wasn't even
in
my
college.
brother.
No.
I had no idea.
No, my thing is, you didn't have any idea because this is what you said.
What did
I
I
want
say?
you and your dad, me and my dad, both to be happy. Whatever you got to do, because I got things I got to do.
That's exactly what I said.
Yep.
No matter what, as long as you guys are happy, that's all that matters to me.
Yep.
And because I'm locked in over here,
Yep.
because I had dreams and I had goals,
yes,
and no one was
100%.
going to stop me.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And so, again, I was off in Michigan doing my own thing,
Pursuing
Folks-
his dream.
pursuing my dream, and he was back at home trying to figure
in
it
the
out.
fucking Badlands.
And you wrote me a note.
Okay.
Do you know what that note said?
The note said something along the lines of like, it's okay to leave my dad or something.
Yes, you did.
So how old was I?
You were in, I would say, middle school, right at the very end, because you were going away. So maybe a freshman.
So I must have been like 13.
Yeah, like 13 years old.
So I wrote a note. And
You no, and you gave it to me.
how did I give it to you?
I was in the kitchen, and you said, "Oh, I have something for you."
So you obviously did it like with Pop's not there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you like snuck it to Mom, like, you take this
No,
note.
he wasn't living there.
he wasn't living there.
Oh, so
No,
you guys
he
are
wasn't.
already separated.
We were separated
Oh, so wait, why'd you write a note saying?
because we were separated. We weren't. We were in limbo. Is
Okay,
how you put it,
you were
right?
still trying to figure it out.
Still trying to figure out.
Okay.
So when I got that note from him, and it basically, I felt like it set me free. It was one of those things like, I want my dad to be happy. I want you to be happy. It's okay for you to leave my dad. You know, I love both of you. And I just remember reading that going, oh my gosh. Like, I felt like I was set free. So then I remember I called your dad and I said, I have this note from Landon. And I said, I want a divorce. And he was like, oh, you're lying. You're lying. And I said, no, I don't. I'm not.
Wow, brother, you set Mama free. Well, you set them free.
Well, actually, it was both.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like that moment was one of those things where you're like, I don't have to stay in this thing that
Yeah.
is not working.
Yeah.
Right? That we are not figuring it out. It's not just your dad not figuring it out. It's I'm not figuring it out. Right?
Yeah.
We're not figuring it out together because it doesn't matter. It always takes two.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't matter what someone else does. Usually it's a reaction to somebody else.
Right.
Right? Or what someone else is doing.
Mm-hmm.
So even if someone were to say, just to throw it out there, I'm not feeling loved.
Mm-hmm.
Well, obviously the other person isn't feeling loved either,
Right.
right? It's not one side. It's usually not one side saying, I feel so loved, and the other one saying, I'm not feeling loved at all. It doesn't work like that,
Yeah.
right? We're bouncing off each other. We're energies. And the bottom line is sometimes when you have businesses, which we had multiple businesses, you have kids that are like high performers doing a lot of different things. We put everything else first.
Mm-hmm.
We put our relationship last.
Mm-hmm.
And so it wasn't growing. We were growing in different areas, but we weren't growing together.
Well, the good ending of this story is that, and it's something that I feel like me and Austin live with now and apply to our own lives, is that the real like prospering era of like the McBrooms really started once my dad moved out of the house. Because then it became like I started to see my mom happy again. I started to see my dad be like normal again. And even though it was very different, it was, even as a kid, you can tell that it was just something good happening. Like something, whatever is happening, even though it seems like it's not good because your family's not together, it was good because your parents are acting different than how they normally do. So it allowed them to both grow in different directions and then like regain their happiness back. And I feel like we apply that back to our own lives, because when I first was with Soul's mom, and like even Soul's mom, just in general, like my goal was to have a family and not do what you guys did. And to be like, okay, I want a family. I want to, if I have a daughter, I want to be able to like love her mom in front of her and give her good examples of how she should be treated, and like all these things that sound so fucking amazing. Obviously, it didn't end up that way, but the thing that helped me get over that, and obviously get over it for Solene, because part of it hurt my feelings for Solene, because see what y'all doing to me, bro. I hurt my feelings for Solene because I wanted her to have that. Yeah. But then you realize that it's okay, because it's better to have 2 happy homes than to have 1 toxic home. And me and Austin obviously are a product of that, and exactly how that works, and how that is the truth, and how that actually is. So if you can't figure it out, if you can't, just seem to get along and work out what you guys have to work out, sometimes being separated is the best things to do. Obviously, I'm so glad that with Solene, she doesn't have any memory of that. You know what I'm saying? She doesn't have any memory unless she sees a picture of that me and her mom were even together. It's not like we were fucking high school like us. Yeah. But that's, I feel like, and obviously he's new to that now, because he's stepping into that. I stepped into that world, 3 years ago. He's stepping into that in the last year. So he has to apply that now to his life. And then I also, granted, him and Catherine doing such a good job with it. Because again, his kids will always know that Austin's a great dad and that their mom is a good mom. They're not going to remember, especially still, they're not going to remember anything of any type of like stress or anything, because now she's in her growing era and do good, and so is he. And I feel like they'll have such a good turnout because of that.
It's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Do you feel that?
I definitely feel that. I agree. And I think that's like one of the most important things for me that I took away from you and Pops, is like the way you guys handled everything. Still to this day, you guys are like the best of friends. You guys still communicate. You guys.
And that took time.
You guys, I know you guys showed up. You guys show up to, all the parties, all the events. And I think that's like the most important thing moving forward, because like Landon said, I think after you guys separated, you guys were able to flourish in your own ways. I mean, look at you now. You're a successful businesswoman.
Always have been a successful businesswoman.
Pops is doing his own thing. He's happily remarried. You're still, looking for love, but
bring us to the dating aspect of the show.
But you have found love in other ways, and you've always cared about business before anything, and that's been one of your struggles at the same time, because you're a workaholic and that's all you know, and leading into your new era now, Mom has been separated for how long now? How long you been separated?
Probably like 10 years.
10, 11 years.
10 years? It's only been 10 years?
Or 11 years. No, because I've been in Malibu for that long. So it's been about 11 years, yeah.
Okay, 11 years. And you've dated in the last 11 years.
I've had a serious relationship.
Yeah, you've had a serious relationship in the last 11 years.
Yeah.
But you are currently
single.
Single.
Are you ready to mingle?
I'm ready to mingle.
Oh, shit. Not on this podcast.
Yeah. Chill. But are you currently on any dating sites?
No, I had to give that up. That's depressing. No, I feel like I'm not seeking, but my heart is open. Does that make sense?
So you allow it if it comes to.
Okay.
Yes.
I think that's the best way.
Comes in
is when you're busy, you're focused on yourself, you're focused on work, and when something organically comes your way.
100%. I don't want to seek, because I've been working on myself all this time too, right? Trying to understand who I am and why I move the way I move and why I like to be busy. But if you look at your grandma, she's busy, right? Yeah. Grandma Shirley's always busy. So I'm still learning about myself, and I want to be the best version of myself when I do end up with that person, and I expect that of that person. Yeah. So, at 55, I should have learned a lot by now.
Yeah. So speaking of working on yourself, what are you currently working on right now?
Me, personally?
Personally, business-wise, like just yourself.
So personally, I'm trying to figure out what I'm wanting more of, right? What makes me happy? Because a lot of times I think we go through life just in movement, but not in concentration or visualization of what we want, right? So I'm really visualizing, like, what do I want and what makes me happy? And so in looking at that, that's why, like, you and my grandkids are everything. So that's why I started implementing that we get together once a week and have dinner, right? Because I want to spend more time. And I want to spend more time as a family, just enjoying each other's company. The other day, I was over your house, and just being able to hold Elle, who's, like, not a baby anymore, right? But she's still a baby. And just holding her in my lap and just being able to look at Juliana's TikTok, and we were just talking, and then Leia laying on us, and then you were holding Steele. It just felt so good. And I was thinking, like, maybe I should stop working and just do this, right? And helping with homework and doing those things. It's like, that's actually what makes me feel good. And so I was thinking, like, I want to do more of that. How do I get to do more of just being present? Because when you talk about, if you have any regrets, I don't regret divorcing your dad. I feel like that released both of us to have the lives that we wanted and to grow with whoever we wanted, right? But I regret not being more present when you guys were younger. And being present meaning, like, always working. Like, I would have you guys, and in 6 weeks I was back at work. Like, there was no downtime. It was literally, like, always felt like a hustle, right? Doing this, doing that. So therefore, that's another thing is, like, it's hard to nourish a relationship when you're always hustling. You're like, your dad has 100 ideas to do stuff, but guess who's the workhorse? That's me, right? So, okay, I want to do this business. I want to buy this. I want to do this. It's like, okay, I got to fill this in my day. And that's where anger starts building up, right? Where it's like, I can do it, but where am I going to fit it in? And so just organizing your time, trying to figure out what you're going to do. It's like always being busy. Like, I wish I was more present and just was able to sit there and just enjoy the time that we had. Like, I was there, but then my mind's somewhere else because I'm thinking about work, or I'm thinking about, I have this, as soon as I get home, I got to get this done, or I got to get this ready for you, or you got an application that needs to be turned in, right? It's not being present. And so I feel like, I feel it for parents that have to both work, who have, like, so many obligations that they can't be present for their kids. But it's not because they don't want to be. It's just not available to them. Like, I'm so happy for both of you that you live a different lifestyle, that you are able to give that to your wives or your mothers of your children, right? For you to be able to have a night nurse, for you to be able to have grandma come help you, right? That's the luxury. That's a beautiful thing to be able to have, but not everyone has that. We were fortunate to have your Aunt Dovey. She was everything. She loved on you guys like you were her own, right? That's what allowed us both to go to work and not feel scared that you were in the wrong hands.
Right.
So we were fortunate in that way, but I just wish I was more present.
Okay. And then speaking about now what you're currently doing business-wise, what you have going on business-wise?
So I used to be fitness princess.
Okay.
So my phone still says it.
Speak on it. Tell them what that means.
What that means is I own gyms. I used to own how many? 8 at one time.
Damn.
I'm down to 4. I want to be down to, well, I always want ladies first. It's an all-women's gym in Lancaster. So that's my first gym. Love that gym. Have amazing staff there. And
the gym's always done well, right?
Yeah, that one's done well. Well, after COVID, it struggled like everything, but it's a staple in Lancaster. So that is a forever. But the other gyms, I want them to be run by someone who can give those members the best, right? I care for those people. Fitness transcends everybody, right? If you get your fitness right, your life will fall into place. And I think you both know that, right?
I agree.
Because your fitness is a part of your life.
Yep.
And so, but I was so gung-ho on that and loving on people And I always felt that you don't have to go to church to worship. You can worship wherever. So when people would come into the gym, I loved on them. I wanted the best for them. I listened. That was like my sanctuary. So then after COVID, or during COVID, things shifted. We were dealing with Landon and making sure he was healthy. That was actually, COVID was a beautiful time for us because everything slowed down. That's when literally I could slow down. And we were able to take care of Landon during that time. My creativity went up. We were tie-dyeing. We were doing all these things. And then came Good Quality Human, a lifestyle brand.
That's her current
Sponsor
hat
for today
business.
is Good Quality Human.
Uh-huh.
So that came into play, and my partner, Sean, I asked him if he wanted to do a hat brand. And because I used to always wear hats, the gyms, anything, and people used to always ask me whose hat that was, right? And he used to go, why do you wear branded stuff? You should wear your own stuff. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to make hats. So I asked him if he wanted to do hats, and Sean is from India, and he's creative, and I knew he could take our designs someplace. So I was like, you don't have to do it, but it's going to be big. And he said, okay. And he goes, I'll come along. And it was during COVID, so we had time to think about it, do some things. And that's where...
By the way, Eshawn is somebody who she dated and had a serious relationship with.
I wasn't even going to say that.
And that's how she got into the hat conversation, because people be like, who the hell is Eshawn?
What?
So let's just put it out there.
Eshawn is her ex-boyfriend, and if we're going to go that far, we might as well say that he's only 2 years older than Austin. Shit.
Is he really that young?
What?
God damn.
Hold on.
Mom's a cougar?
Let's just make sure I'm not capping, because I'm sorry, Mom. He took it there. I had to take it a little further. You're 32.
He's only 34?
How old is Eshawn? For real.
Sean is 37.
37.
Wow.
It ain't that.
Wow.
Whoa.
37.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
Is that right? Yes, that's...
Are you sure? Our age gap, I know for a fact, is the same as him and Eshawn's age gap.
No. He's 37. That's right. We're 18 years apart.
Why'd you have to say it like that? Sounds a little crazy.
It does sound crazy, but you guys know Eshawn.
We will also
He
add,
is old.
in the benefit of our mother, that Eshawn acts way older than 37.
He really does. And when they met, I was not there, and Landon was there.
Of course.
And he had a million questions for that man, and he somehow made it out. He made it out, and he is a good individual.
Would you know one of the first questions? I don't know which one of you asked.
What is that?
You said, how did you get my mom?
It must have been me.
It must have been him. Yeah.
It must have been me.
Yeah. So speaking of that, talking about your hats and your business partner, Eshawn,
Yes.
how did that young man get you?
Yeah, where did you come across just a young Indian man in America?
No, seriously.
Because I was fitness princess, and I was going to gyms, and he was a trainer.
Oh, he was your
actually,
trainer.
Yeah, he was my trainer.
Oh,
and we
no.
became friends, and it was not a romantic relationship. We were friends.
Why is it always got to be the girl's trainer?
Because-
My future girl will not have a male trainer.
I'll tell you why, though. It's because they spend so much time with them, right? And then you're also working on a goal, and you're helping them. You're helping them achieve a goal, which automatically is going to give the woman some type of attraction because you're benefiting their life.
And they're just
And
naturally
you're here,
spending
they're
time with
they're
them.
listening to them.
They're
all
there
these
for
things.
them.
They're there for them.
Oh,
and
my
then all of a
God.
sudden,
For all my fellas out there,
God.
if your lady has a male trainer, just
be
keep one
careful,
eye
bro.
open.
Be careful, bro.
You just never know.
If she look good, there
Is
ain't
that a
no
PSA?
way. What?
Is that a PSA?
That is a PSA.
Yes.
Yep.
The trainer is it's a
And
go-
that's how he got you.
Trainers are a thing. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, trainers are a thing, huh?
They get you right. They talk to you.
They get you right.
What the fuck you mean
What
by
does that mean?
Mean physically.
What do you mean?
Wait a
They
minute.
get you in shape,
Okay.
right? They listen, right? They stretch you out.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
Chill.
Okay. Speaking of the hats. Okay, so your hats business is booming,
It is
right?
booming.
I've seen these hats everywhere.
TikTok, everywhere.
We're known on the west side.
We're known on the west
We're known on the
side.
west side.
So where can they find your hats now?
So We are on Abercrombie Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 12 to 5.
What is Abercrombie? You always say that like people know what Abercrombie is.
If you don't know Abercrombie, you should have been on Abercrombie.
Okay.
Abercrombie is in Venice, California.
There you go. There you go.
Right? It's a great street. Got lots of shops.
Character, history.
All these things. Food.
Okay.
Great place
and
to go.
you have a hat truck.
That's a truck
that's
that you
parked
can walk
there.
into it.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, my mother she built a hat truck, kind of like an ice cream truck. It's for hats.
Yes.
And she
like
parks
a mobile hat store.
And she parks her truck there where people can come and shop.
In front of Rooster Fish, the bar.
Yep.
And then now we're at Century City Mall for the holiday market.
Wow, that's dope. That's big. That's
Yeah,
huge. Congratulations on that.
The hats are selling quick, huh?
They're selling quick. We're there until December 26th.
Okay.
We're online. And we're in a lot of boutique stores. And if the store is in Malibu, they sell our Malibu line. If it's in Venice, they sell the Venice. And in Los Angeles, they sell Los Angeles.
Wow. Let's give Mom a hand of applause real quick just for being a successful business woman. For all my women out there watching, this is a prime example.
This is what I was going to say, because we're getting towards closing out this episode. But before we do, I would like to say that every single woman I've ever even thought about dating, they know about you. And they know about you because I always throw it in their face, basically.
What?
Of how blessed that me and Austin are to have you as our mom, because of the example that you've shown us of how a woman's really supposed to be in this world. And the possibilities and the potential that all women have that some fall short of. Because we know that, I always say that how strong you are. That you're a type of person that demands respect when you walk in a room without even saying a word, which is huge. These are key things that I want for my daughters, right? That I want you to walk in a room and men already know that they can't play a certain game with you because of how you're carrying yourself. I think that's very powerful. I think we've all came across women who you're already like, ooh, like she's carrying herself different. She's not that type of person. That you never needed anybody. Completely true definition of independent. So I have more respect for you than anybody that's walking this earth right now is you as my mom, because of who you are and what you do and what you've been an example as for me and Austin in our lives.
Mother, we love you so much. Thank you everything you've done for us.
Yes.
I mean, where I am in my life, I wouldn't be without you.
I wouldn't be shit without you, Mom.
And you really did teach me a lot. I know you always say that you wish you were more present when we were younger, but look at us now. I feel like we're closer than we've ever been, and I'm very thankful that you're my mother.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. And I'm thankful to be your mother. And you guys know I love you dearly, but I will always be the one to call you out on your bullshit.
And you have.
Okay, so speaking of calling us out on our bullshit, let's get into her reaction when she found out I was having a kid in college. Can we get into that? So when I first told you that
Actually, who did you tell first?
Me. I remember you called me.
We kept it a secret for a little while.
I know, but who did you tell first?
I think I told Landon
He
first.
told me, he called me.
And then who did you tell first out of me and your dad?
I think I told my dad.
Yeah, I think you did too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was scared to tell you.
Yeah.
I was scared.
Yeah, I think you called your dad first. And then after he knew you told me, then we had the conversation. Is he crazy? What the hell's going on?
Yeah.
What are we going to do?
I knew it because, guys, I was going into my prime year, my senior year of college, and this was the most important year of my basketball career when me and Catherine found out that she was pregnant, and I had to tell my mother.
You know, a true story about that is that, I was a kid when you told me, but I was picking up a girl, right? And I remember you called me in the car and I answered, right? And it was a girl from our hometown. So, she already knew you too and everything like that. And I remember, you told me, and I remember that I literally started to cry. And I literally started to cry because I was like, this is my dead-ass thought. I was like, this fucking life is over. It's fucking cooked, bro. My dad's going to kill him. He's fucking going to be in Palmdale for the rest of his life.
Bro.
It's over with, bro.
You don't understand.
I can't believe that.
My initial reaction to finding out she was pregnant, I remember like it was yesterday. We were sitting there in her room late at night, and she went in the bathroom with the pregnancy test and came out immediately and looked at me and was like, I'm pregnant. And my reaction, as much as I was like, okay, obviously one thing was like, yo, my whole life is set up for me right now for me to like play basketball, right? My other reaction was like, I'm so in love with this woman, and I could see this woman being the mother of my kids. And then like putting those two together, I was like, fuck it. Like, this is exactly what's going to make me into the person I am today. It's going to motivate me. It's going to make me a better person. Like, all these different things are going through my head because I already knew what I wanted to do in my life. A lot of times when people have kids, they're kind of just like, you know, when they have kids at a young age, they're unsure about what they're going to do, and that's why they make certain decisions. Mm-hmm. But for me, I already knew what I wanted to do in my life. And so with that being said, me having a kid on top of that, I knew was only going to make me a better person. And so, but I knew telling you guys you weren't going to think that. And it took me some time. I think it was like, I want to say it was a few months.
A few months?
Yeah, I think it was like 2 months until I told Mom.
Damn.
I told you right away. I think it was only within like a week or two. I think Pops was like a month and a half. I think you were like a week after Pops because I told him not to tell you.
Yeah, and so, he didn't. He waited.
I know he waited. And so what was your initial thought?
That's interesting right there. Well, one thing is when you sent me Catherine's contact information.
Yeah.
Before you told us. You said, Mom, I want you to have lunch with her and be nice, right? And it said wifey.
Wait, this was when you...
No, this was before you told me.
Okay.
But it said wifey.
Uh-huh.
And I was calling your dad, like, is he okay? Like, he's never done that, right? Yeah. Like, that's weird, right? Yeah. So I already knew what kind of place she had in your heart because you had already done that when you guys were dating. But when you said that, for me, I go into fix-it mode. Okay, he's going to finish this last year. We'll take the baby. It'll be fine. He can finish what he's doing, and we'll handle this on this end. Yeah. We'll help Catherine, da-da-da, and he can still do what he needs to do, right? It literally is a sinking feeling, and then it's like, how do we move forward? Yeah. I mean, that's how my mind works, right? Yeah. It's like, what's the solution to this problem? When you decided to do social media, which we didn't know what that was. We didn't know what you were doing, what that looked like, how people made money, anything. My only thing was I didn't want you to have regrets. That's it. I could care less what you guys do, meaning as what you choose to do as a career, what you have a passion for. I always want to support you. Yeah. If that makes you happy. But in your situation, because you worked so hard and that was your whole life, sports, basketball, and when you talk about people saying, oh, why does your kid do all these things? You would do 2 to 3 tournaments in a day. Your dad would take you to a baseball tournament. Then he'd drive you to a basketball tournament. Then he'd take you back to finish out a game. And people are like, why do you make him do that? And I'm like, we don't make him do anything. He wants to do it. And your dad was willing to drive you to all these places, right? So knowing that, and that's where your mindset was, I'm literally going like, I just don't want you to have any regrets. Because that's the mother of all evil, right? Just to have a regret. And you were very clear that there was no regrets. You had made a conscious decision on what you wanted to do, and you were going to be the best at it. So I had to trust that that was going to be true.
And shout out to Pops, by the way. He'll eventually be on our podcast. But I just want to say, when I initially told him about me having a kid, like, he took it really well. And he also took it well when I told him that I was going to stop playing basketball. Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure you were terrified to tell him that you wouldn't
play basketball.
I was going to say,
bring tears to my eyes. But that was, like, probably the scariest moment of my life because my Pops is, like, my best friend. And I've been crying too much on this damn podcast, bruh. And he's been with me through everything with sports. And for him to have my back with me telling him that I was no longer going to play when he spent so many hours and so much time and so much energy into my sports, and for him to say, hey, son, whatever makes you happy, I'm going to be right behind you. I'm going to be right behind you and believe in you at every step of the way. That shit meant everything to me. And one thing he did say was just like, how the fuck are you going to get people watching you? That was like his only thing was like, how the fuck are you going to get people watching you? Like, are you sure you really want to do this? And if you are sure, I'm behind you 110%. And look at us now.
That's true.
So
and then that's
again, shout out to Pops.
Okay, you're both hardworking. I feel like you, Landon, when you see something and you set a goal to it, you're going to get it. And your mind is so strong in your beliefs, but you have to really want it. No one can say anything, do anything. It's what your way or no, it's just your way. But you're that way too, whereas, I don't know if you remember this, at 5, I was telling you to do something, and you said, can you just leave me know? I know exactly what I'm going to be doing. And I'm thinking, you're a freaking 5, right? How are you talking to me like this, right? But you always knew, he always knew what he was going to do from little. So it's like, you guys are both so strong-willed in your own ways. You show it differently. You are, when I say your brother's always honest, it's not that I don't think he cares about hurting people's feelings. He cares more about the truth. And that's why when people gave him a present, he didn't want it. He'd be like, thanks, but I don't want this. This is not what I asked for. And he would just give it back and walk away. And you'd be like, can you talk to him? He can't do that to people. He can't say that. But you literally didn't care. But I don't think you wanted to hurt anyone's feelings. You didn't even think about that you were hurting someone's feelings doing that. You were just being honest, right? When I was moving out of that house and Grandma was helping clean, she called me. She goes, there's condom wrappers in Landon's room. And then I started laughing. I said,
Wait, what?
Yeah, condom wrappers.
Where we go from him being honest to condom wrappers?
Because I said, I don't know if they're his. Maybe you should ask him. And your grandma said, are these yours? She goes, yeah, I'm being safe.
Okay, hold up.
How old was I?
You're a teenager.
Okay.
So he's still a young teenager, 15, 16.
Oh, shit.
So, but
okay.
That's what I'm saying, being honest. He didn't lie and say, that's my friend.
Yeah. Landon is very blunt. And I thought I don't give a shit about nothing. He don't give a shit about nothing.
Yeah. You're more or less, you want to make people happy. You don't say things that hurt people's feelings.
Yeah. Right?
Like, you're very low-key that way. Landon,
he don't give a shit.
You just need to know.
Yeah.
You just need to know what's going on. This is how I feel. And he leaves it at that. He doesn't go into it. He's not trying to hurt someone. He's like, now just leave me alone. I'm over here on my little island. Just leave it alone.
Okay, speaking of that little memory about the condoms, let's ask.
Okay, well,
let's ask her.
That's what we wanted to ask. I mean, I thought, there's a couple questions to ask you. And the first question was, what are, like, your craziest or most, like, wow or different or funny moments of either of us?
That nobody knows.
That nobody knows.
The craziest moments?
Just ones you remember that.
Yeah, give us one good memory that you'll never forget.
Or favorite memory.
Favorite memory. Well, I think a memory would be that, I don't know where you got it from, but somehow you got a dildo out of the drawer.
It wasn't my dildo.
Whoa.
So whose dildo was it?
Whoa.
It wasn't your dildo, but you got it. And
Wait, where were we? Where was he?
So you weren't born yet. So he was like 2.5, 3.
Oh, that's Child Protective Services.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
How did I end
and
up
you were
with a
holding
dildo?
it, and we were like, oh, give it to me. Like, number one.
It was your dildo?
It was somebody's.
Oh my God.
It was somebody's.
You had me holding a dildo?
I didn't have you holding the dildo.
Oh.
You grabbed the dildo from, I think we had just moved or something.
That says a lot about who he is today.
Don't play me right.
That's
and
crazy.
then for Landon, few anger issues. Had your brother in the closet ducking and diving from you, trying to stab him through some clothes.
Yeah, he was
because you were
doing
mad
that.
about. What were you mad about?
My brother always does the most, like, knives, like weapons. Like, he'll try to really hurt me and, like, put me in the hospital. There's times where I had to tell him, like, bro, you trying to kill me, huh? You trying to kill me.
Yeah.
I was a kid.
But what were you
like
angry
6
about?
years old,
What would
5
make you
years
that
old.
angry?
I don't know. I don't think I knew the what I was doing that was that bad. I think I wasn't actually good, but I had a real knife trying to stab him in the closet.
Yeah,
I remember that.
exactly.
But I don't think I was really trying to stab him. Yeah, I think that
No,
sounds
you was
crazy.
really trying to. He was doing like I was behind the clothes because I was scared, and he was hitting the knife with the clothes. Like, I was right there. He was like, I'm gonna get you. Get out of my room. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't recall it like that.
A lot of those things were happening.
Well, I got one memory for Landon. I wasn't supposed to answer this, but it was only for you. But I got a memory.
What's that?
So I go in my brother's room because you know me. I don't like being alone. So I was going in there to see if he was going to play with me, right?
Oh my God!
What?
That's crazy.
What?
Mom, don't close your ears.
What? You want to sweep? You want to sweep it up? You want to sweep up?
No, I don't. I ain't never gonna touch
It's
that.
getting
food.
messy. It's getting messy.
Go ahead.
I can keep going.
Yep.
So I go in his room, right? I don't know if you know this or not. I go in his room, and he's not there. So I'm like, where the hell is he? So I look in the closet to see if he's hiding from me because this motherfucker's always hiding, right? I go in the closet. This dude had wrappers everywhere, chips, cookies, fruit snacks, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking like, who the hell is in here, right? Mm-hmm. So then I go to the bathroom. He had a girl hiding in the bathroom, and I guess he transferred her from the closet to the bathroom because he didn't want nobody to find her. And I'm not sure how long he had her in the closet because there was a lot of snacks. So he made sure she was comfortable in that damn closet.
I would sneak girls in the house from time to time, and then I would hide them in the closet, and I would periodically make my way down to the pantry and bring them snacks so that they didn't starve inside of the closet.
So I actually knew about this from the cleaning lady.
The cleaning lady
told me, I don't know what's going on in your son's closet, but there's food, right? And the blankets. And so that's one of the reasons I had to move out of that big house, because I didn't know what you were doing on half that side, right? You were doing a whole bunch of stuff. Just like Grandma calling me, talking about, I think they're having a party. And you had called Eshawn to say, I'm going to clean the house for my mom. Please keep her down there. Keep her out. Keep her out. I'm going to clean. And as soon as Sean got on the phone, he says, Landon told me not to tell you, but I don't think your son cleans.
And I was trying to throw a house party.
Yes, a house party.
Okay, speaking of him and the ladies, who had like more of an issue? Like who was a real problem with the ladies? Be honest.
Well, the funny thing is, I never knew what girlfriends you had.
I know you didn't.
Because you were always acting as if
sports came first.
Yeah, sports came first. Like you weren't really into that. Landon, I just remember this one girl on the east side of Palmdale.
She was a little ratchet piece, huh?
I was so worried.
Thank God that wasn't your baby mama.
It was the first girlfriend I ever had.
Was it serious?
You know it was serious because you met her.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they would. This is a true story that at least every other week or weekend, either my mom or my dad would drop me off on the east side of Palmdale at the trailer parks.
Yes.
Don't laugh, because that's where she lived, and I didn't mind being over there. You know what I'm saying? So I was kicking in the trailer parks a lot.
You were getting cheeks in the trailer?
I was getting cheeks in the trailer. There was built up by concrete bricks on each corner of the house, standing it up. Cats and dogs running underneath it and everything. I didn't care. Love is love when you're that age. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. I was scared.
Wow.
So to end off the podcast, though, there's a couple things we wanted to do. And I think that it's time for us to play We Listen and We Don't Judge.
We listen and we don't
judge. I wanted to touch on something first.
What? What do you want to say?
When people keep asking, why do I keep the name McBroom?
Oh, I answered this today on Snapchat.
Yeah.
So on Snapchat today, too, they asked me, they said, why does your mom keep the last name McBroom if they've been divorced for so long? So would you like to answer that today?
Do you secretly want Pops back or something?
No. I'm glad he's very happy where he's at. So as you know, we got together in high school, right? So we started owning companies and doing things when we got together. And my name was McBroom at that time. So all my businesses are under McBroom. Everything that I've done as a mature person is under McBroom. I still consider your dad family, right? It's not a marriage, but we're family. Your last names are McBroom. So there was no reason for me to change that back to something that I had no history with, right? So as McCole Kemp, that was when I was in high school. As an adult person, I've always been McCole McBroom. So that's what people know me as. I have the same phone number I have gotten since I've had a phone. I've never changed that phone number. If anyone wants to call me,
That is pretty crazy.
I have that same number.
That is true.
That's
And
crazy.
so I feel no need until I get married again to change that.
I just feel like people judge a last name, especially after a divorce, because people are so used to like not or hating the person they get divorced with, so they're just instantly like, I'm gonna change my last name. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's why. Or some people are known before they were married as something.
Like a Kim Kardashian.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something.
Or Catherine,
Right,
right? She's known by her name prior to being married to you.
Right.
So therefore, she has something to go back to.
Yeah.
I wasn't known for anything. I was in high school.
You didn't have nothing tied.
She
to
actually
last
wanted to keep her last name and my last name, which
Catherine?
no one knows about. Yeah.
name. Oh, she did.
But she didn't end up doing that because I was like, no, you're not keeping your last name.
What?
Yeah. Because, it just seemed like we really wouldn't have been married if she kept her last name. That's how I looked at it. I don't know. I was young back then, but.
Oh, so yeah. So it's like, it has nothing to do with wanting your dad back or anything like that. But we are all family. And one thing, and it's kind of a personal thing, I never understood. When you say you don't want to have more kids, right, by a different mother than the one your kids have. I get it, because that was what my opinion was after I got divorced. I could not see that.
Yeah.
But when you find someone that you truly love, none of that holds true.
Really? So you
None
think
of it holds true. No, it doesn't.
if I
hold
find
true.
somebody that I truly love,
Yes.
I could potentially get remarried and have another kid?
Yes. Because you
You'll
want
be old as hell.
you want that union, you want what makes that person happy. It's going to make you happy, right? So it's not that separation, and the thing is, it's love. It's all family. It's all combined. It's not separate. Right now, you're holding it separate as these are my children, these are our children. But when you bring another child that you truly love with somebody, it's a combined thing, and you will not notice the separation.
So you telling me that I shouldn't get snipped?
I'm telling you, you shouldn't get snipped until you find that person and you decide together that that's what you want to do.
All right. I like that.
Is snipping reversible? You could
It
snip
can
to
be, but
unsnip?
I think I'm not a doctor, but I think the longer that you are that way, the harder it is to reverse.
Ray, do you know that? Once you snip, could you unsnip? You're cooked?
No, you
You
can.
don't know shit.
No, you can unsnip. It's just that after time, if you've been snipped for so long, it may be harder to reverse.
They do say that though, because they say that if you don't as a male, if you don't a lot, the volume of the egg, volume of the sperm go down.
Who said that?
That's a fact.
It is.
Yeah, you're supposed to do it a lot. They say.
Interesting. Okay, so before we end today's episode, we got to play the challenge or the game that everyone has seen on TikTok. We listen and we don't judge. You know how to play? So it's just going to be us.
And I have to listen.
Yeah, it's going to
And
be
not
us
judge.
talking and you listening and not judging.
So I believe we say we listen and
We
we
don't
judge at
judge.
the same time like that.
Yep.
All right, I'll go first.
Okay, we got to do it together and then you say something
I'll
first.
say
and I'll-
first.
Okay, ready?
We always
Ready?
say it together. Ready? 1, 2.
No,
3.
not her. Us.
Oh, just us?
Yes,
Oh,
she just
shit.
listens.
Okay, ready? 1,
Ready?
2, 3.
We listen and we don't judge.
When I was younger, you're not gonna like this. I may or may have not had a woman at the house who was plus size. Plus size.
I know that's true.
And plus size. And we had a wild night. Things went missing. And long story short, she ended up leaving with a pair of y'all draws.
Plus size draws?
Hey, we listen
We
and
listen
we don't
don't
judge.
Wow.
Okay, my turn.
Yeah.
We listen and we don't judge. So, you know how you and Pops always work so much?
Yes.
And you guys were always out the house?
Yes.
Well, I had somebody over and my sheets were dirty, so I used your guys' bed. We listen and we don't judge.
And I slept in that bed?
You slept in it the night of. We listen and we don't judge.
I've done the same.
We listen and we don't judge.
You got more? I'm scared of mine.
Okay, I'm going to go again. So, you guys know how you got me that car to drive, to commute every day to school?
Yeah.
right? And it was like a really long drive, right? An hour drive. And you guys would always ask if I made it to school. Well, there's days I didn't go to school and I went somewhere else.
And where'd you go?
We listen and we don't judge. Y'all would never know because it was an hour drive. It was like you were going to come find me. We listen and we don't judge.
Okay, so do we want to play our game to finish off the actual podcast? We want to play our last game? The dunk game.
Yeah.
So for some reason, this guy is infatuated with this game and thought it'd be a good idea to play with our mom tonight, which is the dunking our heads in water game.
Okay.
Kind of cold.
You're not even the one doing it. We're the ones that have to get wet.
I'm your mother.
So you know how it goes? You know how it goes?
No.
So it's going to be 2 bowls of water, and Ray's going to ask you questions pertaining to either one of us, and whoever it pertains to, you have to push your head in the water. So
What
for
if I have
example,
slow reflexes.
No, we can't move.
for example, who's funny? You say, boom,
Me.
whoever's the funniest
Boom.
one. Who's the most handsome? Me.
B.
You put that,
Boom.
bump me in.
Put that in there.
Okay?
You guys ready? Yeah. All right. So first question is, who was the most expensive child? Who was the most annoying? Who got the most whoopings?
Oh, that would be this one.
Who's the loudest? Who's the smartest?
Oh.
Who's the funniest?
They so funny.
Who's the most athletic?
Get him.
Who's the most like their dad?
Him. Yeah, get his ass. That's crazy.
Who's the most like your mom? Who's the rebel child? Who's the most dramatic?
Come on, man.
Who would cry the most? Who sleeps the most?
Hey, come on, man. It's cold out here, bro.
Who's the most creative?
Oh, they're both. No, they're both.
And who farted the most?
Oh, my
Oh, hell no.
All right, that's it for questions.
All right, get out of here, bro.
All right, y'all. We're going to end the pod right here. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Shout out to my beautiful mom. I love you.
Thank
so
you, Mom.
much.
I love you. Thank you for being on the 3rd episode of the Outside Voices Pod.
We're out of here.